In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I did the salted caramel cake. First, I use a vanilla frosting and I add to it the salted caramel I made. I have another video showing you exactly my method of making salted caramel, and I like to keep it in the fridge to thicken up. I mix it into my frosting, and this I'm going to use on the outer part of my cake. Inside my cake layers, I'm going to use regular vanilla buttercream. I first stack my cakes in my usual way. I put one spot of buttercream as my cake glue. Then I go ahead and start stacking my cake. I put the cake layer right in the center of the cake board. Here I'm creating a thick dam or a wall of buttercream. And then inside it will be a thinner amount of frosting because we are going to put the salted caramel inside and we don't want it to ooze out the sides. So that's the reason you have a thick wall or a dam of frosting to protect your salted caramel from oozing out of the sides. You can measure your soft filling, whether it's the salted caramel or like a Nutella, whatever you're putting inside, or eyeball it like me here and just put a thick amount and really spread it all over the cake. Now I've done this exact flavor for my son's birthday cake, vanilla cake with salted caramel filling, like that thick amount of salted caramel filling, and it was absolutely delicious. Usually people order chocolate with salted caramel, but vanilla just pairs really nicely as well. All right, so second layer, we are doing the same thing and just do your dam or wall of buttercream, and then inside is only a thin layer of frosting. Then add that thick layer of salted caramel. Remember, whenever you put your final cake layer, put it upside down so your cake is absolutely flat. Make sure the 3 layers are aligned perfectly above each other. Then we do the first layer of frosting, which is called the crumb coat. The crumb coat just locks all the crumbs together, and you smooth the sides and clean off the edges of the crumb coat. It's a really thin layer, don't put too much. Then you refrigerate that cake, and then you go ahead and take it out of the fridge and do the final layer. I took the same salted caramel I made and I heated it for 10-15 seconds in the microwave to make it slightly thinner for my drip. I put it in a piping bag and I opened a really tiny hole in the piping bag and I start dripping. I always put 1 or 2 drips first, and then I stop and I watch how slow or how fast the caramel is dripping. Then I continue doing drips all around the cake edges. And then I fill the top of my cake with that salted caramel and I smooth it with the offset spatula. Give it a final twirl with the back of the spatula so it can really straighten out and smoothen. Then I took some of the salted caramel frosting and I piped it all around the cake. This piping technique at a 45-degree angle is called a rope border, and it's usually done as a border either at the bottom or on the top of the cake. You can always stop and turn your cake and then continue piping. Nice and simple, the cake is done and absolutely delicious.